Hey guys, it's me D from Infobro. So I am here with a video on the topic suprarenal gland. So the suprarenal gland are a pair of important endocrine gland situated on the posterior abdominal wall all over the upper pole of the kidney beyond peritoneum. So it is an important endocrine gland and it has mainly two part, that is outer cortex, which is mesodermal origin, which secrete a number of steroid hormones, and an inner medulla of neural crest origin, which is made up of chromaffin cells and secrete adrenaline and noradrenaline or catecholamine. So noradrenaline also known as catecholamine. So made up of two parts, that is outer cortex and inner medulla. Outer cortex forms steroid hormone and inner medulla forms adrenaline and noradrenaline. Now for the location of the suprarenal gland. Each gland lies in the epigastrium at the upper pole of the kidney in front of the crest of the diaphragm. That's for the location. So it is present at the upper pole of the kidney and in front of the crest of the diaphragm. So that's for the location. Now we will discuss about its size, shape and weight of the suprarenal gland. So when we are moving into the size, shape and weight, each gland measures about 50 millimeter in height, 30 millimeter in breadth and 10 millimeter in thickness, and it is approximately 1/3 of the size of the kidney at birth and about 1/30 or in adults of the gland. So it is about the measurements. Now it is weight about 5 gram, and right suprarenal gland is in triangular shape or pyramidal in shape, and left is in semi-lunar in shape. That's for the shape. Now for the sheath. Suprarenal gland are immediately surrounded by the areolar tissue containing considerable amount of fat. Outside fatty sheet there is perirenal fascia. Between these two layers of fascia lies the suprarenal gland. So it is the suprarenal gland is present between these two fascia, and two layers are not fused above the suprarenal gland, and which is open and it is continuous with the bare area of the liver. Now for the right suprarenal gland, and it is in triangular shape, so it got an apex, base and got two surface, that is anterior and posterior, and three border, anterior, medial and lateral. You can see in the diagram it is in triangular shape. So I got a line which is apex, base, and all of that cannot be drawn here, so I am just marking a triangular shape and apex and base. That's for the structure of the right suprarenal gland. Now for the left suprarenal gland, that is it is semilunar in shape, that is two end, that is upper or narrower end and lower or rounded end, and two border, that is medial convex and lateral concave borders, and two surface, that is anterior and posterior surface. Now let's compare both this. Before that we need to look at the diagram, that is the upper end and a posterior, medial, lateral, anterior, posterior surface can be imagined from this diagram. Now let's compare the right and left. In the case of shape, right it is pyramidal, left it is semilunar. And parts and relation. The right apex it is related to the bare area of liver, base is related to the upper pole of the right kidney. And in the left suprarenal gland, this upper end is close to the spleen and lower end presents hilum, left vein emerges from here. Now for the anterior surface, it is related to the inferior vena cava and bare area of liver. And for the left it is cardiac end of stomach, pancreas with splenic artery. And posterior surface the right suprarenal is related to the right crest of the diaphragm and right kidney, and the left suprarenal it is related to the left crest of the diaphragm and left kidney. And for the anterior border presents hilum and right vein emerges. For the left it is not present, and for the medial border it is presents the cilia ganglion and cilia ganglion, and for the left it is also cilia ganglion, and for the lateral border the right presents the liver, and for the left it is stomach. And now for the structure and function. Naked eye examination of the cross section of the suprarenal gland shows an outer part called cortex, which form the main mass of the gland, and a thin inner part called medulla, which form about 1/10 of the gland, which forms all. And these two parts are absolutely distinct from each other structurally, functionally, and developmentally. So it was two parts, that is outer and in a cortex and inner medulla. Now for the cortex, it is composed of three zones, that is outer zona glomerulosa, which produce mineralocorticoid that affects the electrolyte and water balance of the body. Now for the middle zona fasciculata, which produces the glucocorticoids, and for the inner zona reticularis, which produces the sex hormone. So this can be given by a mnemonic, can be remembered by a mnemonic GFR, which is easily remembered, that is GFR. Now for the medulla is composed of chromaffin cells that secrete adrenaline and noradrenaline. It contains cells in group with lots of capillaries. The autonomic ganglion cells are also seen here. Now for the arterial supply. Before that, you need to know this diagram, which is an important diagram in this suprarenal gland. So this is the diagram. So before that, outer cortex is consist of zona glomerulosa, zona fasciculata, zona reticularis, which is very important. And for medulla it composed of the chromaffin cells. Now for the arterial supply, the first one is from the superior suprarenal artery, a branch of inferior phrenic artery, and middle suprarenal artery, which is a branch of abdominal aorta, and the third one, it is the inferior suprarenal artery, a branch of renal artery. And now for the venous drainage. So each gland is drained by one vein. The right suprarenal vein drains into the inferior vena cava, and the left suprarenal vein drains into the left renal vein. And now for the nerve supply. The suprarenal medulla has a rich nerve supply through myelinated preganglionic sympathetic fibers, and chromaffin cells in it are considered homologous with postganglionic sympathetic neuron. That's for the nerve supply. Now for the clinical anatomy. So it can be, say, the Cushing syndrome and Addison disease can be told in the clinical anatomy of the suprarenal gland. And that's all for the video. If you like this video, like, share and subscribe. And thanks for watching.